Welcome back to the channel, USA Coins 69, our amazing journey into the world where pocket change becomes priceless. Today we're turning the spotlight toward one of the smallest coins in American currency, a piece so often ignored that people toss it aside without a second glance, the Roosevelt dime from the year 1974. But make no mistake, this humble 10-cent coin has created a frenzy among collectors thanks to a perfect storm of mint errors, rare production qualities, and hidden gems waiting to be discovered in everyday circulation. So before you drop another dime into a parking meter or leave one behind on the counter, join me as we dig deep into the secrets of this intriguing 1974 Roosevelt dime, because what you learn today could change the way you look at change forever. The Roosevelt dime first appeared in 1946, honoring President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, one of America's most beloved leaders and a champion of the fight against polio. His portrait, designed by John R. Sinek, remains one of the most durable and iconic designs in all U.S. coinage. The 1974 version carries every detail collectors crave: Roosevelt's sharply defined profile, the famous "In God We Trust" motto, and the sleek legend of liberty stretching across the field. On the reverse, the powerful torch is flanked by olive and oak branches to symbolize liberty, peace, and strength. But as simple as this design may appear, 1974 is far from an ordinary year. With coins struck at Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, marked by a small d, and San Francisco, marked with an S, and sold originally only in proof sets, this year gave birth to distinct mint mark varieties, each with its own quirks and mysteries. Let's start with what draws collectors in: strike quality. Only a very small percentage of 1974 dimes left the mint with a fully struck torch, showing sharply separated horizontal lines or full bands. Coins with crisp, full bands are among the most pursued, especially when graded in high mint state condition. Most coins intended for general circulation received fast strikes, resulting in soft or blurred torch bands. That's why collectors turn into detectives, scouring through old bank rolls or coin jars looking for that rare, fully detailed strike. Add an unbroken luster, gorgeous surface tone, and uncirculated condition, and now you're sitting on a tiny piece of art far more desirable than its face value suggests. But the real fireworks explode when we enter the realm of mint errors. The machinery of the early 1970s wasn't perfect, and that imperfection is exactly where today's massive values come from. Among the most exciting are double die obverse coins, where Roosevelt's nose, lips, or the date appear double due to a misalignment in the die-making process. There are also off-center strikes from 1974, which show part of the design sliding dramatically to the side. Even more dramatic wrong, planchet strikes have been reported. For example, a dime accidentally pressed on a blank meant for a penny or foreign coin. These mistake dimes are anything but cheap. Collectors crave them precisely because they are bizarre and rare. Each one is unique, nature's own fingerprint stamped in metal. Another thrilling place to hunt is the San Francisco proof set. 1974 proof Roosevelt dimes made for collectors feature mirror, finish fields and frost, finished designs. This contrast is called cameo. A flawless ultra cameo version with crisp frost and clean mirrored background can set collectors' hearts racing, especially when preserved in perfect condition. What's more, some of these proof dimes occasionally escape into circulation, turning up unexpectedly where they absolutely do not belong, and shocking whoever spots them first. Now imagine this coin's journey. Struck during a time when cassette tapes were king and gas was only pennies per gallon, your 1974 dime may have traveled through millions of pockets, seen thousands of cash drawers, or slept for decades in forgotten piggy banks. People pass them around without a second thought, which is why you have a real shot at discovering something extraordinary. The thrill is in the hunt, going through rolls from banks, inherited coin jars, flea markets, antique stores, or even your parents' old dresser drawer. Every dimly lit room, dusty coin box, and jar full of change suddenly becomes a treasure trove when you understand how much is hiding in plain sight. So what should you look for? First, find the mint mark, a small D for Denver or empty space for Philadelphia. Next, check the sharpness of Roosevelt's hair, jawline, and eye. Look carefully at each number in the date. Is anything doubled? Clipped? Misaligned? Flip the coin to inspect the torch. Do both bands show full separation with no blending? That's your cue. Study every corner under good light. If the coin looks unusually sharp, bright, and flawless, protect it. If it displays a major visible error, authenticate it. Those are the dimes that make collecting exciting. Never forget, coin collecting is a treasure hunt where the smallest discoveries can deliver the biggest thrills. In a world where everyone chases the obvious, the humble dime proves that greatness often comes in the tiniest package. So take a closer look the next time a 1974 Roosevelt dime lands in your hand. Check your change, empty those jars, and ask your friends to let you look through their dimes. Today we're focusing on one of the most underestimated coins in modern American change, the United States of America Roosevelt I dime from the year 2001. This simple little 10-cent coin has crossed cash registers, pockets, parks, classrooms, and coffee shops without warning anyone of the incredible secrets it can hide. But trust me, once you uncover the rare varieties, shocking minting errors, and collector stories behind this coin, you'll never look at your small change the same way again. Stay with me until the very end, because we will reveal the stunning potential value of this unassuming dime, and it might just inspire you to start digging through every jar of coins in your house. Let's travel back to 2001. The United States Mint was producing coins in massive numbers to satisfy everyday commerce, never suspecting that a small percentage of Roosevelt dimes struck that year would become legendary among collectors. These coins were minted at Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, marked with a tiny D, and San Francisco, marked with an S, used for proof coins only. At first glance, the 2001 dime looks just like any other. On the obverse, the powerful profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the president who guided America through one of its darkest eras, stares firmly into the future. On the reverse, the familiar flaming torch stands upright, flanked by olive and oak branches symbolizing peace and victory. But behind this classic look hides a universe of subtlety and rarity that has blown away even veteran coin hunters. Start with strike quality. Most Roosevelt dimes are produced quickly for circulation, so their torch bands end up soft and blended. But a few exceptional 2001 dimes were struck with such force and precision that they show clean, crisp, fully separated horizontal lines on both torch bands. These full-band dimes are instantly more valuable. But that's just the beginning. The true superstars are the coins that show unusual mistakes, collector gold mines known as mint errors. Imagine a 2001 dime struck off-center, leaving part of the design bleeding off the coin like a printing slide illusion. Imagine a double die where the date, lettering, or parts of Roosevelt's face seem to have ghost-like duplicates, created when a mint die shifted slightly during production. Or even rarer still, imagine a dime struck on the wrong metal blank, like a copper penny planchet, giving it a bizarre reddish tone and incorrect weight. Every one of these mistakes tells a story of a fleeting moment when machines and timing went sideways, mint chaos that slipped into circulation and vanished among billions of perfect coins. These are the pieces collectors dream of finding because each one is unique and irreplaceable. Even ordinary-looking 2001 dimes can skyrocket in value if they are preserved in pristine condition. To qualify as a potential treasure, a circulated dime just won't do. You need crisp, gleaming mint state examples with untouched surfaces and bold luster. Under magnification, Roosevelt's hair should show clear, lifelike individual strands. The words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" should be sharp and unbroken. Flip the coin over and check that torch. Full bands, strong lines in the flame, and silky smooth fields free of scratches are exactly what make collectors open their wallets. It's these sharp, luminous coins sealed in protective cases by professional grading companies, especially those graded MS-67 or MS-68, that truly make headlines. Even more spectacular are San Francisco proof coins with ultra-deep cameo contrast, mirror-like backgrounds paired with frosty designs. These are so beautiful that many collectors never allow them out of their sight. The truly amazing part? So many of these rare coins are still out there. People have found unbelievable treasures in rolls from local banks, jars they inherited from relatives, yard sale junk drawers, and old birthday money forgotten in closets. Sometimes it's the coin a cashier gives you without blinking, a dime you're about to spend, that holds all the magic in the world. That's why seasoned collectors always check every coin in their change. They understand that what looks ordinary to everyone else might actually be the find of a lifetime. So how do you begin the hunt? First, sort your change and isolate all the 2001 Roosevelt Dimes. Separate them by mint mark. Under a bright light or magnifying glass, examine Roosevelt's face. Are there doubled lines in his ear? Are the numerals and the date thick or shadowed? Does the design sit dead center or slide to one side? Now check the reverse. Are the bands incomplete or perfectly split? Does the coin shine with original mint brightness? If you suspect any unusual features, do not spend it, protect it. That potential treasure should be placed in a coin flip or capsule and submitted for professional grading and verification. That's how ordinary people turn casual finds into major payouts. What makes this coin so addictive to hunt is the thrill that your next great fortune might not come from a lottery ticket or a business deal, but from a simple moment of awareness. So empty that change jar, go searching through your couch cushions, take a second look at the coins rattling around in your car cup holder. Talk to friends and family who have old piles of coins stored away. Every 2001 dime you check could be your ticket to joining an exclusive club of people who struck it rich by paying attention to the smallest things in life. Today we are taking a close look at a coin so common that most people never even pause to examine it, yet within its tiny design lies the potential for astonishing value. Our focus is the 1992 United States of America Roosevelt 1 dime, a coin that's been passed from hand to hand for decades without revealing the rare varieties and dramatic errors that make collectors go wild. By the end of this video, you'll be checking every dime you find with laser precision because the next great discovery could be rattling around unnoticed in your own spare change. Let's start with some background. The Roosevelt dime has been circulating since 1946 in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, famously shown in a strong, noble profile created by John R. Sinek. On the reverse is the classic torch flanked by oak and olive branches, symbolizing liberty, strength, and peace. In 1992, 3 mints produced dimes: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, marked with AD, and San Francisco, where the S mint mark appears only on proof coins made with mirror-like finishes for collectors. At first glance, a 1992 dime seems like a dime is just a dime, but the truth is far more exciting. This is the year collectors search obsessively for error coins and high-grade rarities. Some of the most incredible finds include double die obverse errors, where Roosevelt's ear, I, or the words "I and God we trust" appear slightly doubled due to a misaligned die during minting. Others are off-center strikes, where the design slides toward one side leaving a blank crescent of metal. And then there are the famous wrong planchet errors. 1992 dimes accidentally struck on a copper penny blank or foreign planchet, which look bizarre, weigh differently, and immediately set off the alarms of any experienced collector. Each of these mistakes is a unique accident, meaning each is prized like a one-of-a-kind piece of art. Even without a dramatic error, certain 1992 dimes command premium prices simply because of condition and strike quality. Collectors adore full torch band dimes, where both sets of horizontal bands on the torch appear fully separated and bold. Most circulation strikes are too weak to show these details clearly, so a sharp, full-band coin can skyrocket in desirability, especially graded in mint state by PCGS, NGC, or ANAX. Proof dimes from San Francisco are even more breathtaking, icy mirror-like fields with frosted cameo devices, and those preserved perfectly in their original cases can become highly valuable over time. But here's the thing, sometimes these proof coins accidentally escape into circulation, where someone might spend or drop a coin that was never meant to be used. That's why it's so important to check every 1992 dime you come across carefully, even the ones that look too shiny to be real. Imagine for a moment what could be out there waiting to be found. A 1992 dime with razor-sharp detail and a dramatic mint error might have been jingling unnoticed in someone's pocket. Maybe it got thrown into a piggy bank, forgotten in a desk drawer, tossed into a glove compartment, or wrapped into a roll and taken to the bank. And maybe, just maybe, that roll came home with you, waiting for your curiosity to reveal something incredible. Countless legendary finds in coin collecting history have happened exactly this way, not in museums, but in garages, basements, flea markets, and during rainy afternoons spent searching jars of coins. So, how do you find your own miracle dime from 1992? Start by flipping every dime over and checking the mint mark. Separate Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco coins. Under bright light and with magnification if possible, study Roosevelt's profile. Are the design details unusually sharp and crisp? Is anything doubled? Do the numbers in 1992 look thicker than usual? Then inspect the reverse, look closely at the torch. Are the upper and lower bands clearly divided? Is the strike centered or shifted? Is the surface a brilliant mint sheen or mirror-like proof? If anything looks unusual, don't ignore it, protect that coin immediately in a flip or archival holder. That little piece of metal could be worth infinitely more than 10 cents. The magic of coin collecting is that one moment of awareness can reveal a lifetime of mystery. Whether you're searching rolls from the bank, checking change at the grocery store, or rediscovering old jars saved by grandparents long ago, every coin presents a thrilling possibility. Keep your eyes open, your curiosity sharp, and never take even the smallest coin for granted. Today we're zeroing in on one of the smallest coins in American currency, a coin most people flip onto a counter without ever glancing at it twice, the Roosevelt dime from the year 2000. This little silver-colored 10-cent piece might look common, but once you discover what makes certain versions of this coin incredibly rare and shockingly valuable, you'll never pass up a dime again without taking a very close look. So stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly why the 2000 Roosevelt dime has become a modern treasure hunt, and why your next big payday could be hiding among your loose change. Let's begin with a bit of background. The Roosevelt dime has been part of America's coinage history since 1946, introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The design by John R. Sinek shows a strong, determined profile on the obverse and the famous flaming torch on the reverse, flanked by olive and oak branches, symbols of peace and victory. In the year 2000, these dimes were struck at 3 mints, Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, with a small d, and San Francisco, carrying an S, reserved for special proof coins. While hundreds of millions were produced, only a tiny fraction escaped the mint with unique characteristics that could launch their value into the stratosphere. So what makes a 2000 dime valuable? Let's talk strike quality first. Coins struck for everyday circulation usually show soft detail, especially on the torch bands. But serious collectors search for examples where the upper and lower torch bands are fully separated and crisp. These are called full-band dimes. Next, condition is everything. Uncirculated coins with gleaming surfaces, razor-sharp hair detail on Roosevelt's head, and smooth, flawless fields are graded as mint state by services like PCGS and NGC. The higher the grade, the better, especially MS-66, MS-67, or even MS-68. Add the sought-after full bands, and you're now holding a coin that serious collectors will compete fiercely to own. However, the real fireworks begin when we dive into the world of mint errors. These are the accidental miracles collectors dream of. Examples include doubled die obverse where Roosevelt's I or the date, 2000, shows doubled images because of a misalignment in the die creation process. Then there are off-center strikes, where the design is dramatically shifted away from the center, leaving a crescent-shaped blank area. Some of the rarest and most visually shocking errors come from wrong, planchet strikes, where a dime is accidentally struck on a blank meant for another coin such as a penny or a foreign coin. These pieces look odd, sometimes reddish-brown instead of silver, and weigh slightly differently. Each one is a one-of-a-kind minting accident, and collectors go wild over them. Even the San Francisco proof dimes from 2000 can be incredibly desirable if they display perfect mirror-like fields and thick, frosted devices, especially if graded PR70 DCAM, deep cameo. Proof coins were not meant to be circulated, so finding a high-grade example hiding in spare change is like winning a miniature lottery. But that's exactly why you need to stay alert. These miracles have a habit of turning up in the unlikeliest places, garage sales, inherited coin jars, couch cushions, and bank-wrapped rolls. Now imagine the sheer number of 2,000 dimes still floating around in circulation today. Millions of people handle them daily, never realizing that one might be a rare full-band mint state specimen or a dramatic error variety. That means the odds are still in your favor, you just need a sharp eye and a little patience. Empty your change jar, visit your local bank and ask for rolls of dimes, search flea market coin boxes, and check those jars of old vacation coins your friend or grandparent has tucked away. You might be surprised by what you find. So how do you start your own search? First, examine the mint mark to identify whether the coin came from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Next, use a magnifying glass under bright light and inspect Roosevelt's face and lettering. Look for sharpness and detail you don't typically see on worn coins. Study the reverse, focusing on the bands of the torch. Are they clearly separated? Is there any doubling on the lettering or unusual positioning of the design? If a dime looks sharper, different, or unusually shiny, don't spend it, set it aside carefully and keep it safe. These are the coins that professional graders and collectors want. There's something deeply thrilling about realizing that extraordinary treasure doesn't just belong to pirates or skyscraper vaults. Sometimes it jingles casually in your pocket, waiting for you to recognize it. Every dime you check is a chance to step into history, mystery, and maybe even fortune. So don't rush the next time a cashier hands you a handful of coins. Study them. Question them. Because your future fortune might literally be riding on a coin worth 10 cents, and your moment of discovery could be closer than you think. Today we are zeroing in on one of the most common yet underestimated coins in American currency, the Roosevelt dime from 1980. Millions of these tiny 10-cent pieces were released into circulation more than 4 decades ago, tossed into tip jars, rattled in pockets, and slipped under car seats. Yet, among those countless dimes, a rare few, struck just a little differently, preserved just a little more perfectly, or blessed by a mistake at the mint, have become incredibly valuable pieces worth hunting with all your heart. So stay with me as we dive deep into the secrets of this special 1980 dime, uncover what makes it truly valuable, and reveal how a coin you might dismiss as spare change could be worth a life-changing fortune. Let's begin with a quick overview. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American coinage since 1946, honoring President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The design's elegant simplicity, Roosevelt's profile on the front and a fierce flaming torch on the back, flanked by oak and olive branches, has remained virtually unchanged for decades. In 1980, these dimes were produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, bearing a P for the very first time in the dime's history, Denver, marked with a D, and San Francisco, marked with an S, but only on proof coins originally sold to collectors. Most of these coins were made for everyday use with little thought given to perfection. But small differences in strike pressure, die wear, and minting accidents created coins that ended up becoming coveted rarities many years later. The first thing that can make a 1980 dime valuable is strike quality. That means how well the tiny details appear on the coin. The most popular sign of a superior strike is the full torch bands. On the reverse, the 2 thin horizontal lines across the top and bottom of the torch must be clearly separated and sharp. Most coins struck for circulation show mushy, blended bands, which is why full-band dimes are far more desirable. Next comes condition. Dimes that survived uncirculated, sporting glowing shine, no scratches, and strong detail, especially those graded MS-66, MS-67, or MS-68 by PCGS or NGC, are especially valuable. High grades combined with full bands create the ultimate collector magnet. Now let's move to what truly sets hearts racing: mint errors. When a blank planchet is misfed or a die is misaligned, incredible mistakes can result. Some of the most eye-popping 1980 dime errors are off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing and shifted toward the rim, and double die errors, where the date, 1980, or letters like "In God We Trust" show doubled outlines under magnification, a stunning visual quirk worth big money. Even rarer are wrong planchet errors, when a dime is struck on a copper penny blank or a foreign coin planchet. These oddball coins have the wrong color, wrong weight, and instantly capture the attention of advanced collectors. Because these mistakes are random and unpredictable, each one becomes a unique conversation piece, and the more visually dramatic the error, the more valuable the dime becomes. Even special proof coins from San Francisco can enter the spotlight. These coins were never meant for circulation, they were struck slowly, polished to a mirror-like shine, and sold only in collector sets. Some ended up mysteriously in public hands, often from broken proof sets at estate sales. If you spot a dazzling, mirror-bright 1980 dime with an S mint mark in circulation, guard it like treasure. With deep cameo contrast and no marks, it could be a sleeper worth much more than you'd expect. This is where your eyes, patience, and curiosity come in. Ordinary people have found valuable 1,980 dimes in banks, old jars, inherited coin collections, garage sale grab bags, and rolls of coins obtained out of sheer boredom. One day it's rattling next to your car keys, the next day, a collector is offering to buy it for a small fortune. That's the magic of coin hunting. Destiny rewards those who pay attention. So how do you know if your 1980 Roosevelt dime might be special? Step 1. Check the mint mark. Look for D, P, or S just beside the date. Step 2. Check Roosevelt's profile. Is every hair well defined, or is the strike weak? Step 3. Turn it over under bright light and look closely at the torch. Are the bands full and crisp? Are there any signs of doubling in the lettering, unusual lumps, clipped edges, or anything that looks off-center? If so, protect that coin. Get a plastic flip or capsule. It could be the find every collector dreams of. And if it looks particularly clean, consider submitting it for grading to officially reveal its true market value. The joy comes not only from discovering value but from understanding how something so small and ordinary could suddenly connect you to American history, precision minting, and global collectors, all at once. So don't rush the next time you receive a handful of change. Slow down. Look closely. Because that next 1980 dime you almost leave behind could be much more than a worn piece of metal, and if luck walks alongside you and you uncover one of the most extraordinary high-grade error-marked examples of the 1980 Roosevelt dime, your tiny 10-cent treasure could be worth a jaw-dropping $60,000.